I've watched way too many fluff pieces and general AI wow. Um, this is not that. But AI offers a real opportunity to transform our business, and we're going to take it. And we're going to show you everything we're doing and today exactly how we are getting started. So why are we implementing AI? It's not shiny object syndrome. I know it's all the rage, but there's some real opportunity to make things that were painful much, much, much easier. So we're a accounting practice, a family practice. There's a handful of us. There's not very many, and it's very administrative. There are lots of finicky manual tasks, lots of things we have to do over and over again that we know are in the realm of AI and AI agents, and we must take advantage of that. The main strategy for our business is probably very similar to many companies seeking to adopt AI, especially small businesses. We need the efficiency gains. So we want those business as usual BAU processes to speed up. And when that constraint has been met and handled, then we can advertise and grow. It's quite common for accounting practices to grow from referral only. We're no different for now. It's not how we want our business long term to be, but we certainly can't afford to pour petrol on the fire of advertising when our processes aren't yet efficient enough. So efficiency first, growth second. That's the strategy. So what constraint is the major constraint that means we must get more efficient? I am a bottleneck on the business. I have multiple commitments, family commitments. I have to be out of the house often. I have to pick up the phone. I have to talk to clients. And being able to quickly turn around small administrative tasks is not always possible. They have to get delayed and scheduled and written down somewhere and got to later. And you end up with this pile of admin that you make your way through as and when you can, even if you can make it quick. And our processes are not yet quick. But even if you could make it quick, it could still have this elapsed time problem where I start it on one day, have to put it down for this, that, or the other reason, and can't pick it up for several days later. So AI gives us two efficiencies that are really important. It can help automate these repeated processes, and it can help do them while I'm doing something else so that there's no elapsed time problem as well. It's very easy to just think of one, like the fact that it can go faster, but if you're just using it to go faster and then watching it working on your computer screen, you're not really getting the double benefit of being able to have lots of things going on at once and to shorten the elapsed time from start to finish of that task as well. So the key difference that AI introduces for us is the ability to perform human-like judgment. That was a limitation before. We could do automations. If something exposed an API, which maybe it doesn't, then we would be able to do code that could do various this, that, and the other. And yes, there were opportunities to do that. I've fallen into the semi-automation trap before. If you automate 80% of a process and you're still the bottleneck on the 20%, you don't really necessarily gain anything worthwhile. You might as well have taken the extra 5 minutes to do the manual process because you have to do the finishing off of it anyway. So we really do need something that can make workflows truly autonomous, where we can have a start point and an end point that are quite far away from each other in this process that we repeat in the business, this whatever administrative task it is. We dabbled with early natural language processing with our app, the Bean Counter, which was a voice-first app. It worked over Google Assistant, but it took ages to develop that. It was using industry tools. Dialogflow was the main one at the time. Google Cloud Functions to do processing. I'm pretty proud of it, but it took so long to deliver that by the time we delivered it, open banking had come along, and we kind of didn't need that to get people's bookkeeping information anyway. So I'm pleased that we've done it. It's still useful in some ways, but it's the elapsed time from start to finish of developing that was really long. And that's another thing that's changed. Coding with AI now makes many problems like this extremely tractable in a short space of time. So not only can AI help with the workflows themselves, the business processes, but AI can be used to develop the automations that will be used to make those processes quicker, also much, much quicker. That's an incredible enabler. So why are we doing it in the open? Why aren't we doing this like nearly every other business, quietly in our boardrooms and with our technical people and not talking about it? I don't really see anyone else leaving a specific trail for probably the most common business type in the UK, small service businesses. And I think that's really, really valuable. It makes an opportunity for us to do something that's really, really good. And hopefully that we can build a bit of a community around, because we're certainly not the only one. And it would be great to be able to share our experiences. And there is a potential vertical play here. They say, give away the secrets, sell the implementation. There's a big wave of AI, and if you are able to implement AI and can prove that you have done so, that may end up being more valuable than our mainstream accounting processes, at least in the short term, while this is happening. You have to remember that accounting companies decades ago were the ones putting in databases and computing and IT equipment into businesses. It's in our business DNA. This is what we used to do. We're returning to a point where we can really engage with automations for businesses. For some of our clients, we've helped them with automations based on finance information from their bookkeeping and accounting platforms, but also the whole accounting service is going to need to make this kind of change, and we're not like all in cutthroat competition with each other. There's a real collegiate atmosphere, and so I would have no issues being able to kind of package up what we've been doing and help implement that for other practices for a fee that is obviously much higher than the usual monthly accounting fees that we charge our regular clients. We're not putting that business to the side, but it would be foolish not to ride this current wave. Firstly, we're going to start with what's the framework that we're going to put around this. We want to make a big change. My career before I joined the family accounting practice was projects and programs and portfolios and all that sort of stuff. Used to work as a project manager, worked in the portfolio management office of a corporate entity or association. Maybe pluck a few processes from this. For example, managing successful programs. It makes it more replicable, especially if we're going to consider in the future showing other businesses how we've done it. But it's got to be super light. We want to shortcut indecision about what to do next and how to frame the work, not get bogged down in process. So we're only going to pluck a couple of things from here. In this framework, strategy sort of sits on top. We've already been through that. It was really, really straightforward. Build in efficiency so that we have the capacity to grow through our advertising and sales efforts in the future. So efficiency, that's our goal here, which is time saving, time and cost saving. But we don't have particularly high costs. Many service businesses don't. It's all your time using software. So really, we're talking about time. We've decided to take this first sort of part of the year, especially as we come to the end of the financial year, we're going to go through some key processes to record what we currently do in its embarrassingly complex, multiple pieces of software, things stuck in people's heads manner. Record how long that takes. What are all the touch points? What's the actual flow? This sounds like a complicated task, by the way. Recording it sounds like it's onerous. There are some really easy tools, really helpful tools that make it easy. The next video is going to be in more detail of the first tangible thing that you can take from what we do. I had to record this video that says what's the program, what's the point, so that you understand the context in which we're doing all this. It may match your own context in your business. We have long processes. We want them to be quick and efficient processes. There may be some cost involved where there wasn't before. There may be less cost involved than there was before. But the main advantage we're looking for is saving time and not having to be the bottleneck on doing fairly administrative stuff. A key capability of AI agents now is the ability to apply recorded skills in a fairly repeatable pattern. So, for example, Claude Code can have recorded skills for how to do a particular piece of development work. Maybe it's how you do testing in your organization that's been recorded to Claude Code. First place all these things have been solved is in the development world, in software engineering. So lots of the first examples are how do they do it there in those platforms that are now mature and very, very helpful and time-saving. And they're becoming available in other agentic platforms like Manus or Claude Cowork or OpenClaw that can apply recorded skills to non-software engineering problems, practical business problems instead. And that's what we're trying to do. We want to have these recorded skills, which are basically standard operating procedures. Well, how do we get them if we don't have them already written down? We have some things written down, We do a lot of recording into a platform called Workflowy. We've had it for ages. Having it written down in steps is not the same as seeing the full embarrassing detail of how administrative it is, how many programs you have to open, how many clicks you have to do, how long it takes. All that kind of thing is helped by a piece of software called Scribe, one of the top 2 or 3 really good pieces of software for recording these SOPs, standard operating procedures, mostly for training purposes, so that you can give it to someone else and tell them how to do it. So follow on with our journey. The next video is going to be on how we've set up and got Scribe working. Hopefully you'll find it useful as well, and you'll start to see what it's like when you actually record the things that you do. The processes that you think are a couple of bullet points reveal themselves as a mess of clicking and opening applications. So that's what we're doing. Join us for the next one. If you like what we've been doing here, hit the like button. And if you want to keep up to date with our progress and see actual walkthroughs with implementation details, hit subscribe. If you want to get involved, go check out our school.com community link in the video description. We're right at the beginning with this, so it's completely free right now, and you get a chance to help shape this early community of fellow business owners and operators actively implementing AI right now. There'll be tons more interactions and content there than we could ever squeeze into a YouTube video description or comment section, so go take a look, and don't be afraid to join and introduce yourself. All we ask is that you be on the path of actually implementing AI in your business. But if you just want to keep watching here, this is the full current implementing AI playlist, and this is our most recent video. Enjoy.